Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here, and it is the 9-minute Phill-Up. It is April 15th, and that means there's a national day for tax day. Want to remind everybody out there, if you haven't done your taxes, you got to get it done by the end of the day. You don't want any penalties, or you'll have to file for an extension. But that is a national day, believe it or not, tax day. It is a big day. Let's say, what do they say? Death and taxes. They're always coming for you. So tax day is here, April 15th. A number of other national days to talk about, but tax day right at the top of the list. Some of the other ones don't make sense. It's also, while you're worrying about your taxes, it's also National Laundry Day. I don't know. I don't come up with this stuff, but there's a whole bunch of them. We'll get into that a little bit more coming up with some national days, but we have to start with this. The Pens. Not so much back. They might be on life support, and they could be setting up tea times after tonight's game, but they need to win tonight. Saturday, we talked about it. Everybody was excited about it. The Penguins possibly beating the Bruins at home. They had them on home ice. Great chance to win, and you keep control of your playoff destiny, your playoff life. But they didn't win. The Bruins came out, and the goaltending for the Penguins not good at the beginning of the game. Penguins found themselves down. They came back a little bit. They kept creeping back into it. Not enough. And then on top of that, you could root for all the other teams to lose. So they were looking for Washington, the Flyers, and Detroit to lose. None of them did. So now heading into tonight's game with Nashville, the Penguins are 1 point behind Washington, 1 point behind Detroit, 1 point behind the Flyers. They have to win. They have to win this game and hope that all three lose. Now, tonight, Detroit will take on Montreal at home. Montreal's not very good. Detroit's at home. That could be a tough one. Boston and Washington, 7 o'clock. Boston on the road at Washington. Boston just beat the Penguins. Penguins have to hope they do that to Washington. Tuesday, the Flyers play against Washington, but it may be over by then for the Penguins. They absolutely need to win, and they absolutely need to get some help. They need Detroit and Washington to lose tonight. Will it happen? I just don't know. I just don't know. That's the thing that we're going to have to wait and see. The Penguins, they host Nashville. Nashville's a good club. Nashville's very, very good. They're headed to the postseason, have a lot of points this season. Penguins hanging on for dear life. Those losses, 4-0 lead, you end up losing in overtime. Early season losses. You can talk about all of those games that came before, but this is the one they have to win, and they have to get some help. Well, when you look back on the season, those are some of the games that are really going to hurt when they blew some leads that they shouldn't have blown. And the Penguins, well, if they're back, they're going to need help to do it. So right now, the Penguins not necessarily back, more on life support than anything else. Let's see. Put the glasses on so I can see what's on the screen. Dennis, hello. Hayden City, hello. Tracy, hello. Corey, hello. Of course, the Buccos are back. And hello from Barnesville. Thank you, John. Have a great day. You as well. And speaking of days, it is National Tax Day, as we mentioned before. So that is the day when everyone's going to pay their taxes, but death and taxes have to do it. So you want to get everything done today. National Laundry Day. Don't know why anyone would make that a day. Now, in the description, they said it's a day when you need to teach children how to do the laundry. I can do that. I don't need a national day to do that. We need to, you need to just kind of do that and figure it out as you go along. This one I like, Purple Up Day. Purple Up. It's the month of the military child, and it is a request to wear purple in support of all branches of the military, in support of the children of the military. So I didn't know about this one. I didn't know about Purple Up Day, but I like that. So supporting military children today, that is one of the days. Now this one, I'm more, I don't think we really need this day either, but, compared to the Laundry Day, it's not even close. Glazed Spiral Ham Day. The inventor of the glazed spiral ham becomes the owner of, the honey baked hams. That's what they come up with later on, about 50 years later. So glazed spiral ham day. So that's a big day. Anytime that's a big day. Karen, hello. Good morning. But now here's one that we all know about. April 14th, about 11:40 in the evening, the Titanic, the unsinkable Titanic, hits an iceberg in the North Atlantic. It sinks on April 15th. 1,500 people die that night or that morning. And today is the National Titanic Remembrance Day. And of course, we've seen movies made about the Titanic, documentaries made about the Titanic, the unsinkable ship. It's still unbelievable that they didn't have enough lifeboats on board that ship to save. I mean, 1,500 people died, and they didn't have to because they didn't have enough life ships or lifeboats. So, National Titanic Remembrance Day. I'm sure many people may watch the Titanic, the movie, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet. So that's something you can do today. But those are some of the days of the national days of today. But one of the things I want to talk about, it's going to be here before we know it. We're already halfway through April. May's almost over. And then May's almost over. April's almost over. May's coming up. Then you have June and July, and the Olympics arrive. The Summer Games in Paris Olympics. And just a little bit of a preview here. I love this idea. A little bit different, thinking out of the box. It's Paris. It's the city of lights. It's fashion. It's the cutting edge of the Olympic Games, perhaps, if you want to put it that way, or it's the cutting edge of fashion. So they don't just do a regular track. They don't just do a track that looks like every other track that people are going to run on for the Olympic Games. No, they're going to go big. And apparently purple is the color of the day because you find out that the Olympics, Stade de France, the Stadium of France in Paris, it will be a purple track. A purple track. Yes, indeed, a purple track. So if you like purple, purple is your color for the Olympic Games this year. Now, they're putting this down, and they wanted to move away from the usual colors. So it's the organizers. So that, like I said, it's Paris. They're in fashion. They want to make everything look spectacular, something different. Now, how about this, though? It's going to take 1,000 rolls of material to lay the track down, layer by layer by layer by layer. So they're going to have 1,000 rolls of material that turns into the track. And to keep all these together, 2,800 paste jars will be used. Now, the track should be ready June 1st. So it'll have time to settle, and then it'll have time, hopefully, to have some world records run at the Olympics or some world records in the decathlon and things like that. So the Olympic Games just around the corner, and they're going to have a purple track. So when you see that purple track, remember, you heard about it here on the Phill-Up. And I want to remind everybody, if you can, please subscribe. Please hit the like button so that way we can let you know when we're going to have episodes on. And if you have anything that you want to talk about, let me know. Send a comment. We can talk about just about anything that we want to talk about. Now, Corey brought up the Pirates. The Buccos are back. Buccos had they had a weekend in Philly. Now they're going to have a few weekday games in New York against the Mets. They play tonight at 7:10. Pirates currently right now in the top wild card spot. Long way to go before we start worrying about playoffs, Major League Baseball. But again, it's just like the Pirates. You need to win these games early so you don't have to win them late. If you win 20 games between, at the start of the season, those are 20 games you don't have to, necessarily scrape and claw and fight for down the final week of the season. So Pirates need to continue to play good baseball. They have been. Now, if you're a Guardians fan up in Cleveland, or you're a Guardians fan here in the Ohio Valley, but Guardians in Cleveland, they're going to be in Boston today. Their game, they're going to have first pitch in about an hour. You're saying, Bill, why would they play at 11:10? On a Monday in Boston? Well, it's Patriots Day. And if it's Patriots Day in Boston, that means it's Patriots Day in all of Massachusetts. That means their tax day is actually moved back to the 17th of April. So they catch a break. They get Major League Baseball. And the Boston Marathon is always run on Patriots Day. So it should be a big day in Boston. Hopefully all goes well with those events. And then NBA, just to mention it, because the playoffs start Tuesday, and we have, how about these franchises that are in the play-in games? Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors, two of the premier teams in the league. They are just playing to get in. One-game showdown with New Orleans and Sacramento. LA Lakers will travel to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans, and it'll be Golden State taking on Sacramento. So interesting matchups there. And speaking of basketball, how about this? Oh, that's the back of my script from earlier this morning, just in case you're wondering. There it is. That's what it looks like, some of them. But here's my cheat sheet for today. All right, we're going to talk about why not. If you're talking basketball, you have to talk Caitlin Clark. I believe it is a It's a mandatory thing nowadays, and why not? She's absolutely fantastic. Took her team to two straight Final Fours, two straight championship games. Not win the championship, but played very, very well. Set all the records, all the offensive records, broke everything. So Caitlin Clark this week, I don't know if you caught Saturday Night Live. She was on the Weekend Update. So she was on there with the Weekend Update, Saturday Night Live. And now tonight, it's the WNBA draft, and Caitlin Clark is expected to go number one to the Indiana Fever. Get this. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know you could buy tickets to the WNBA draft, but apparently you can. I was watching a story about this, and apparently they haven't sold tickets to the WNBA draft in years since the league first began. Well, people want to buy tickets to the WNBA draft, probably because of Caitlin Clark. But I mean, man, she is just the world of women's sports right now is just being lifted up. Caitlin Clark, a lot of great players in the WNBA, the women's national soccer team. We talked about that, getting ready for the Olympics. They won last week in the She Believes Cup. So the Indiana Fever is expected to take Caitlin Clark with the number one pick. And then after that, back to the Olympics. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a purple court. It's purple track for the track and field. Be curious to see what the basketball court looks like at the Olympics. But Caitlin Clark, great chance to perhaps make that team. They'll have to make those decisions, those cuts coming up pretty soon as they start to get ready for the Olympic Games. And Caitlin Clark will likely be there. It wasn't remember, you can like and subscribe. We can tell you when we can have more of the Bill Simon and Phill-Up coming up. So, and remember, as always, the rules have fun. Thanks for joining.